everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles. I'm actually here back in Luda for a very quick little thing. This is actually related to Tida, which is going to be the next dungeon we'll be going to. When you get to year 5, you can come to Luda, and what you're going to want to do before going to Tida is you're going to want to talk to this woman here. Tida is her name. She doesn't say anything except for this is no place for outsiders. I wouldn't stay here if I were you. But you need to talk to her and one other person in order for a little side quest to pop up in Tida when you go there. So I just talked to her a few times to make sure. And then I'm going to cut to the next person that we're going to talk to before we actually get to Tida. Alright, so we are back in Mars Pass, and the second person we want to talk to is Cecil. I mentioned a very long time ago that we were going to do a side quest with him, and this is the side quest I was talking about. You have to wait until year 5, and you have to talk to Tida in Luda, and then Cecil, both in the same year or around the same time before going to Tida. I thought I talked to her when I went to Luda before I went to the Lanari Desert, but then when I went to Tida, it didn't work even if I went to go talk to Cecil, so I just talked to him a few times like I do with her, and now that side quest sort of thing should show up when I actually get to Tida. So that's going to be our next stop. I will just cut to when I get there. Okay, so now I am back in Tida. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we now have an awesome new weapon too. You get kind of a nice little close-up of it. And we are back for our second time and probably our last time of the entire stage. So I'm going to pop those vials in for you guys to see them so before we get started. And luckily, every single enemy that is going to appear in cycles 2 and 3, all these enemies appear in cycle 2 and 3. There's no new enemies in cycle 3. We've actually seen them all before. We've seen the Abaddon and the Magic Plant. We've seen lots of different variations of the skeletons when we went to Rabina to Ra and things like that. So that is actually kind of nice because we've seen all these enemies and we know what to expect, which is really awesome. Of course, you're also going to need fire, just like you did for your first cycle, because you will need to go through those cobweb shortcut sort of things that we'll be running into on the second screen. We'll need gravity for the Abaddons, and other than that, it's completely up to you what it is that you would like to do. I really love Tida. This is probably, arguably, my favorite map in the entire game, so I'm really happy to be back here, because I really missed it. Yeah, I would definitely have to say that Tida and Moshet Manor are two of my most favorite maps. So I'm gonna actually really enjoy this run through, even though it was not going to be too much change or a lot of difficulty or anything like that. They've kind of stepped up the mobs a little bit. Not so much though. Those worms, of course, are a little bit tougher. Every enemy will get tougher in every cycle, so it kind of makes it a little bit more challenging. So you gotta watch out for poison, of course, from these guys, the worms, and also from the plants will also poison you. But again, if you have a cure stone or food or anything, it really shouldn't be that much of an issue for you. I don't really have much to say my second time around because the map itself doesn't change. We've seen a few stages where the map has actually physically changed, but I'm just running through here this time around so we can actually see some new enemies and things like that and how the world has changed in terms of like enemy mobs and things like that. It's really not that much different, but yeah. I'm gonna try to skip past a lot of the stuff though. I noticed I've been doing a really bad job of that. Like, I was in the Lanari Desert for almost an hour because I was fighting everything. And I probably shouldn't do the same in this video, especially since we've already seen everything. But I will fight any new enemies we see. Like, we've already seen these guys. They were in the first cycle. And they're not that much more difficult than they were the first time around here. So down this way I think is a area where you can get some chests, so I have to destroy the monsters in this area because I don't know which one drops the key. It's one of those key things again. And I like the bombs because they get defeated in like, I think 3 hits, which is just measly, and is really awesome for me because I have to do like next to no work to get them to disappear. Skeletons are kind of mean regardless of how weak they are, because skeletons in this game are just really quite relentless. What's this? Flamecraft. Okay, at least we can use that, although I think I already have one in my inventory. Either way. There should be some chests in this area. I'm gonna try to get all the artifacts. I did a practice run of this earlier today before I went to work, and I've pretty much mapped out where all the artifacts are. So I can pretty much skip every single enemy in here, because none of them drop anything good. I don't think. There's 2 treasure chests in this area. That one had an artifact, and there should be one down here. What does this one have? Master's weapon. I think that's what we have right now. And of course they've boxed me in. That's great. Awesome. One of them needs to die so I can get out of here. See, this is what I mean. Like I try to ignore them and it just doesn't work out for me. Seriously. A game like this, it can be really difficult to speed run through it. Anywho, I got what I wanted. And there should be more chests this way as well. You can see how far he chased me. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to fight you. Do you not understand? Moogle Home's here, but we've already been to the Moogle Home and I already have that stamp, so I don't need to go back there. Mithril armor, I think we already have. But again, that's not a terrible drop. I do have a pretty empty bag though, so I'll be able to get quite a few kind of drops in this area, which will be nice. I don't know how many of them I'll use or how many are going to be useful, but we'll have to see here. I'm trying to destroy these guys because I have to defeat a bunch of enemies as I go on forward as well, because there's another key gate, and I know these guys are going to follow me, and they're just going to get in my way, so let's get rid of them right away. Heal up here. And go on ahead. We're actually almost at the second screen, which is really nice. Hopefully I can get this video, the whole entire stage done in one video, and then I can maybe save the boss battle for another video. Hate those worms. I don't know why, but they just seem like a lot stronger than they should be from like one cycle to the next. I mean enemies get a little bit tougher, but these guys actually get quite a bit tougher, and I don't know, always seem kind of strange to me. But they were a tough enemy to begin with in the first cycle, so I guess that's maybe why it kind of feels like that. I don't know. Cure spell, and there should be one more chest on the screen over here. I don't know if I'll have to fight them. I think I can just skip right past them. I ignore all of you, and this is another artifact, which is why I had to get it. Skip past all of you. You're not worth my time. See you later. Alright, moving on to the second screen. Okay, so over here on the left-hand side is a tree, and I told you to keep this tree in mind for later, and this is the sort of side questing part with the 2 people I talked to at the beginning of the video. If you've talked to them, you're able to examine this tree, and it says something is stuck in the tree trunk, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. You found an old letter, and it's an old letter that you hang on to, and then what you can do is you can go and show it to both Cecil and Luatipa, which we will do later, but you need to talk to both of them in order to get that to trigger, and since I'm not planning on coming back here again, I figured I needed to do that now, so I didn't forget about it. I'm actually doing kind of a piss poor job on getting a lot of side quests to kind of initiate, because I'm missing a step or I'm forgetting something, or I'm not getting the timing right, which is kind of sucking. It's causing for a lot of unnecessary backtracking, but I am trying my best to get side quests and things like that shown off too, because this game also has a really nice kind of cinematic thing to it too. You can see like all the little events we get on the road and things like that. Just really add to the game, and so I've been trying to get them all to trigger. But I'll have to put talking them and bringing that letter back in like a side questing episode or something like that. Again, it's not, that's not something you have to do or anything like that, but it's just kind of interesting. It's something they threw in that's like completely random. Like, those are two random people that you don't even think have any purpose in the game, and they turn out to have their own kind of side quest, which is kind of cool. Again, with these slimy spores, you have to use fire or Fyra or Fariga. If you use Fyra, they only grow back twice. If you use fire, they grow back several times, and if you use the strongest form of fire, they don't grow back at all. So they'll only grow back twice for me, which really isn't too bad. There's that chest on the left-hand side, of course, and then other than that, it's just a matter of finding your way through here. I'm just going to try to ignore these enemies here. I'm going to go to the south, though, because there's another area to get some more chests. And it's just down here. As you can see there. Ow. Frozen. Didn't realize I was frozen. Not good. Trapped. Alright, let's heal here. As you can see now, there's quite a few enemies in here. It's not too bad, though. But the thing is, they're all casting magic at me, so if I get stunned by one type of magic, I'm going to be caught in all the other types of magic, too. Okay. Iron Shard. And you also need fire for these switches, I guess I've mentioned that, but these switches are covered in vines, and you have to burn the vines off in order to get in to put the key in. So, some chests in here I want to grab, so I think there's also an artifact, and there's also our first Abaddon. You can see how huge they look. They just look ginormous. Let's see what I want to do here. I'm pretty sure the Abaddon will drop an artifact, so I'm going to try to destroy him. But I want to get these guys out of my way first, because they're going to be quite a nuisance. And if you remember, we saw the Abaddons in Chronicles. They're really strong. And I don't want to get hit by them, because if I do, I'm either going to die or I'm going to be very close to dying. So I need to create gravity. Let's see here. Blizzard spell, gravity, and let's put our Cure Stone back. There we go. With gravity, these guys are a piece of cake. Without gravity, not so much. So let's be safe than sorry, shall we? Gravity seriously makes this game so much easier. The same with Holy, too, for ghost-type enemies and things like that. I wish I had known these things as a kid, because trust me, like, I didn't pay attention, as a kid. It's just like, I want to play the game, and then, oh, this game is so hard. Well, it's not that hard, I just didn't pay attention. And even with using gravity, you can see just how long these things take to defeat. It's just ridiculous. There we go. And I have pretty good stats and equipment and stuff like that too, which is just even worse. Let's see. Some money. A craft, frost salad, which we can't use. Salads are for ukes. And I think that's it. So, okay. Let's keep moving on here to the north. This is basically just the big slimy spore area of the game. Or the stage, rather. So let's go ahead and create our double fire again. Just get rid of these slimy spores a lot easier. And then I'm basically just gonna kind of go northeast, because there's a chest in the northeast part of the map. That's kind of easily missable if you don't know where you're going, or you're just kind of wandering through these slimy spores. So many spells. I just want to get through here. Seriously, this is ridiculous. Okay, thank you. Almost there. That's usually why I try to defeat enemies. It's almost faster to just defeat them, because otherwise they're just going to chase you. And it just becomes so difficult. Let's get rid of that slimy spore for good and move on out. Okay. chests are pretty much collected for the southern and eastern part of the map. Now we're going to move to the plaza part of town, which is actually the last part of the dungeon, this area here. And there's 2 more chests to collect. There's one here. If I can move my butt fast enough to not get hit by that spell, thank you. One behind this gigantic worm, which I guess I'll defeat. Just for no apparent reason. Okay. Of course I can't carry that. Let's see. Salad I can't use because it's for Ukes. And I think everything else I picked up I can use. The mithril armor, though, I don't really need that because I think I already have mithril armor. So let's go ahead and just trash that. Get a few more spaces in our inventory. A fairy kit, I don't think we can use that either. I think that's actually for Lilties, but I'll have to double check before I leave. Okay. Get rid of that. And one more chest to collect. Over here. With yet another thing, which is a frost shield, and shields are for Clavats. So again, we can't use that, so that's kind of a huge bummer. Now this area here, which as we remember actually we're at the end of the stage, and that took us about 15 minutes, which was good timing. This area here just over the bridge is where the boss is. They have been really, really mean your second or third cycle, because what they've done is they will like litter this place with Abaddons, which is frustrating because there's like, I think there's 3 of them, so you have to kind of try to take them out one at a time without attracting the attention of the other Abaddons. And you have to try and kill all the enemies in this area because one of them will drop a key for the boss. So yeah, that is really frustrating. Because like these guys are gonna team up on me and kill me, I don't doubt. So I guess what I'll try to do is I will try to kill this guy first, get them out, lure towards the bridge, and then maybe try to kill them from the bridge. I don't know if they're like big enough to fit across the bridge. I actually have no idea. Let's see. Cure. Oh yeah, they are. They're coming across. Oh crap. Okay. Well, maybe if I keep them at bay, they won't come any further or something, I don't know. Either way, yeah, they were really mean about it. I mean, you can see, like, they spawned 2 of them, like, really, really close together. And it doesn't matter how many times I play or how careful I am, I always just seem to have troubles with this one part, because the game designers were jerks, basically. So thank you for that, game designers. I appreciate that character design, or level design, I guess. Because now I'm going to spend a bunch of time trying to defeat these Abaddons. When I don't know if I even need to, because they might not have the key, but it's worth it anyways, just in case. And also, if you are gonna go, if they don't have the key, then at least they're out of your way to find the enemy that does have the key, if you know what I mean. And are you dead yet? Please. Thank you. Oh my god. That is just ridiculous right there. Like, that is just so unnecessary. And as you can see, that Abaddon had the key. So let's see where we are. We're actually missing an artifact, so I'm gonna have to go back and see where that artifact is. I might just keep killing some Abaddons and things like that. I'm assuming that the drop is gonna come from an enemy though, because I picked up every single chest in this area. I did not miss one of them. I hope it's not gonna be one of those glitchy things like with Mount Kalanda where I could not figure out where that 4th artifact was and it just stumped me, but I did skip a lot of enemies in this area just for the sake of time. So what I will do now, I guess, is I will cut the video out now that we have the key for this area, and we can continue on and do the boss battles. So see you guys next video when we will finish up Tida for the 2nd cycle. Bye!